Do you want to know a simple recipe to make when you have an acorn squash and about 30 minutes to bake? Well, here on Tasty Thursdays with Anna, we're going to be doing a simple and sweet baked acorn squash using a blueberry honey from Kawartha Lakes Honey. Yummy. Oh, and a maple syrup. And this one is from Millbrook. Syrup by siblings. Wow. Family business. That's amazing. Well, it looks like they've figured out the secret to a great business. And we're going to be adding some cinnamon. So let's wash up this acorn squash. It's a little overripe, but nonetheless, I wanted to cook it up. My knife was a little on the dull side, so I do suggest having a sharp knife before cutting through this type of squash. Really important to save seeds, so I'm a real seed saver. Now you can roast up some of these seeds by putting some oil on them and maybe some garlic salt, and you can add that to your pan as well, but these seeds I'll be saving mostly for future planting. I like to score my squash with a paring knife. Cooks quicker that way. So I'm putting basically a tablespoon of coconut oil in each half of the squash and adding some blueberry honey. I love to experiment with different honeys and maple syrups. And add a little sprinkling of cinnamon and pop these squash in the oven, I would say for about 20 to 25 minutes on 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I encourage people to eliminate white sugar from their diet and instead sweeten their food and drinks with honey and maple syrup. They offer so many added benefits to the body. And then when you combine that with something like cinnamon, there's even more added benefits to your health. I really encourage people to do their research. So now as far as seeds go, I'm a real seed saver, and I'll wash up these acorn squash seeds and save them for future planting. Think about how much food we could grow if we really set our minds to it. So these are nice and ready now after about 20 minutes. Checking to make sure they're cooked through. And now I'm basically just scooping out the flesh, being careful not to pierce the skin because I'll use the skin as a bowl and eat right out of it. And of course, adding a little more sweetness to it. This is kind of like a dessert now. And I like to experiment with my food, and so I thought I would add some vanilla yogurt to this to see what that flavor was, and it was actually quite nice. And I put some hemp seeds on that as well, and that gives added protein. And I kept the spare half just on its own for a culinary delight for tomorrow. And that's it. Simple and sweet. What do you think?